What goes into the effort of being able to reach out to communities like this and make sure that they're as important to you as Portland and Eugene and Salem?
Well, the staff does an incredible job in terms of trying to put everything together and putting the word out. And what we've done is said that this is really our hallmark. This is our lodestar. This is what we want to tell Oregonians. Lakeview is a long, long way from Washington, D.C. It's a long way in terms of actual number of miles, but it's probably even longer in terms of people saying whatever they're doing back there, it really doesn't have much to do, with us. And so what we've said is we're going to make it a special priority to try to shorten the distance and to make sure that everybody has a chance to be at the table. We've had some great responses. People have come up and said, Ron, we got more cows than, people. Ron, nobody votes for guys like you anyway, so how come you're coming? And as I said, to the group, I'm not a United States Senator from the state of Portland. I think it is so important that we send a message that in our state, everybody's at the table. We're trying to make sure that all the voices, are heard. And as I indicated, I spend most of my time just trying to find approaches that can bring people together and solve some problems.
I take it you don't get a lot of sagegrass and wild horse questions in Portland, though. So
we live in Eastmoreland, in southeast, not far from Reed College, and it would be fair to say my neighbors Amy and Matt do not typically bring up the question of sagegrass.
The versatility in this state is so incredibly diverse, from coast to where we're at across the board. You got high desert and deep forest and beaches, and to be able to address with each area has its own communities and things that they find important. How difficult is it to try to address all the different issues that emerge in this state that is as diverse as it is?
Certainly what people will say in our neighborhood in Southeast Portland and what they'll focus on in Lakeview are different, but there are some kind of common principles. For example, I very often in rural Oregon, I didn't get asked today, I get asked my stance about gay marriage. And you would normally think that's a pretty polarizing, issue. Well, years and years ago, I said, if you don't like gay marriage, don't get one. And people in rural Oregon and people in urban Oregon all said, all right, Ron's saying that's a private matter. I guess it's almost libertarian. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. The last question, I suppose, would be just from your own perspective of logistics. I'm sure it's a lot easier to do this sort of thing being a senator from Virginia or Maryland than it is being a senator from Oregon or Alaska. It's just simply the travel times. But then to compound that by dedicating your time to make sure that you visit every single county in the state, areas like this get pretty sparse and a lot of long road trips. Well, how difficult is that on your schedule?
Well, it can be a challenge, and certainly it's particularly hectic time right now being the new chair of the Senate Finance Committee. But like everything else in life, you make judgments about what's really important to you, and you find time to do what's important to you. And I remember back in 1995 when we were choosing our first new United States Senator in 30 years, and I said I was going to go to every county in Oregon, and lots of times people didn't even know how many counties we had. They thought cities were counties and all the rest. And I said, no, we're going to make sure that as a state that's so unique and so special, that we ensure that everybody's going to be heard.